I'm on mute, so y'all didn't hear anything, any of the shit I just said. I was literally coming on saying, hello, everyone. How you doing? I hope you're having a great day, a great start to what is a Father's Day weekend. In case you don't know, I'm Lee Black. And you might not know because I have been largely MIA over the last few weeks, just through various circumstances, work, whatnot, here, there, holidays in between. We are in the throngs of hurricane season, heading into the dog days of summer, where we've had different people with graduations and other events. And so largely the family has been missing. But anyway, I'm not coming to you right now with a show. I'm coming to you with a commentary. I wanted to give my own personal review of Tyler Perry's movie called Straw. I waited purposely so that Black Twitter and everybody in between can have their opportunity to voice their opinions. And it's been really interesting looking at this on social media and seeing the ideas and the opinions of those shared. And it's a very polarizing film, I must say, because either you love it or you hate it. There doesn't seem to be very much in between. I've looked at a lot of different perspectives and a lot of people that I know, and it seems to be the consensus that a lot of men, Black men I'm talking about, are not necessarily a fan of this movie. In its depiction of men, or just even in the content. And for women, they seem to, for the most part, they like it. Many have talked about the outstanding performances of Taraji P. Henson. You've got Tiana Taylor and you've got Sherry Shepherd. They are the main headliners in this movie, and by all accounts, women seem to really have enjoyed, their role and their acting and things like that. So, what do I think? And in case you don't know, I am an opinionated SOB. In many cases, I'm the Black Archie Bunker. I have an opinion on everything. It's always raw. It's always real. And so I feel the need to say that the opinions that I'm about to share, they belong to Lee Black and Lee Black alone. They do not necessarily meet in what the family thinks. So those of you who watch my platform, we oftentimes disagree. And the one thing that I have always tried to bring to my platform is welcoming dissenting opinions. I'm very much of the mindset that we can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. And I actually like people who stand on whatever they believe in, because I am certainly going to stand on mine. So let's talk about the film. Folks, I went into this, well, let me state right off the bat, full disclosure and transparency, I am not a fan of Tyler Perry movies. I am a fan, generally speaking, of Tyler Perry, the man. I respect the shit out of what he does in many cases for our people. I respect his philanthropic efforts that he does on a continual basis. Most times, believe it or not, that goes unnoticed, which to me means that it's genuine. He's not doing it for show. He is based here in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, and there are many cases that never get publicized of things that he do for folks right here all over Atlanta. He steps up in many ways, and it's not for the camera. It's authentically who he is in terms of helping people. And I respect that part of who he is as a person, and even what he's done for actors. He has become the go-to producer, production company, team, movie, whatever you want to call it, for many B and C level actors. So sometimes when you wonder, well, whatever happened to this person, they're working with Tyler Perry on some project, or they appear in many of his projects. And for that, I love him. Even his soundstage right here in Atlanta, he has them named after prominent African-American actors and singers who he gives them their flowers, not while they're dead, while they're alive. He was the first person to give Cicely Tyson, pay her $1 million in her entire career. She's never been paid that. He is currently paying Taraji P. Henson what she deserves in many cases that she doesn't get from other acting roles. And so I love and respect him as a person. I am not a fan of Tyler Perry movies. I just personally don't think they're that good. They're too preachy usually. And then in the worst way, I do think it depicts black men, especially, in the wrong light. Let's get to the movie. I hated it. Pure and simple. No mystery. If you was tuning in for the first few minutes and thought I was going to drag it out, we're only 6 minutes in. I hated this fucking movie with every part of my being. I had to force myself to watch it in its entirety so that I could, in all fairness, say my opinion to say that maybe it got better. The movie was not good. I hated it. I even am not saying that there were some great standout performances. I don't personally think Taraji did a great job in acting. It was no stretch for her to play the same shit that we know of her. He had her in this movie, the entire movie, a sweaty, messy mess, crying damn near through every scene. And it was just a fucked up conglomerate of a movie that failed to have any real purpose. In fact, if you don't believe me, go do your own homework. He stole so much of this movie from Denzel Washington's movie John Q and Michael Douglas's movie called Falling Down. It's almost like he merged the premises from both of these movies and put a spin on it with it being a black woman. And that's where he used that to do what he always does, send a message about how fucking hard it is for black women and their struggle and all the things that they face. Look, we get it. We get it. I'm the first to here to tell you that, yes, black women struggle. But you need to change the narrative because you're not bringing anything new to that conversation. And if anything, you've overdone it in so many ways that you've turned the black woman into a perpetual, permanent victim. And for that, I can't stand for it. Many people said the first 20 minutes of this movie was so fucking jarring and triggering that they couldn't watch it beyond that, because that first 20 minutes of this movie, you showed every fucking negative stereotype about black people that was imaginable. You showed that we are all hood, rich, are inarticulate, money grubbing, living off the system, welfare, cursing, drinking, don't give a fuck about anybody else. That was depicted in the first 20 minutes. Every character that you showed was a walking, talking stereotype. You literally made the one somewhat redeeming person in the whole fucking movie, Sinbad, who was a homeless fucking bum that had any kind of level of positivity, because from her boss to her co-workers to the police to the FBI, oh my God, Tyler Perry, you know what I realized in watching this movie? And again, I do not typically watch your movies, or if I do, I have to catch them when I don't have zero fucking things to do. You really hate fucking black men. You truly hate black men, except when you want to fuck them. Look, this is my opinion. The black men that you do, you always have the black guy you cast in there that clearly is your type. Because look, I'm not mincing my words. I firmly believe Tyler Perry is at best bisexual, but I think he's homosexual. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, you've hid that, in my opinion, for years. And I'm not saying allegedly this, that, and the other. I believe you like men. I believe that's who you're attracted to, and you like to fuck men. You know, having said that, you clearly have a type. So the one cop that was the partner to Tiana Taylor, it was clear that's who you picked. That's probably who was on your casting couch, this, that, and the other. You have a type. But you made him a fucking buffoon. Every man, especially black man in this movie, they didn't have one brain between them. You know, from Dunbar's character over the police department, he kept deferring to Tiana Taylor's character as a go-to. She was the officer. You portray black men with no sense of intelligence, articulates, empathy, or whatever, you know. And it's clear to me you fucking hate black men, but you love black women. You are the number one ally to black women, and that's where the core of your audience is. And smartly, you play to them. every play, every sitcom, every movie. You make sure that you put that black woman on a pedestal, except the problem is you make her a victim. If she's not being saved by the power of Jesus, then she's waiting for that knight in shining armor to ride through. But in order for him to be a knight, he has to comply with the trodden, beaten down black woman syndrome and truly succumb to understanding that she's risen up through the ages, from the times of Harriet Tubman to run and hold everything together. And that's even what the movie is. It's straw, the last straw, because you made sure that the overwhelming message of this movie was the black woman can't take no fucking more. Her boss is on her ass. She's the breadwinner in the family. She's the primary parent. She's struggling out here against the world. The police are against her. The system is against her. Black men aren't there to support her. Even her friends aren't there. That every black woman out here is carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. Well, guess what, Tyler Perry? It's the same for black men. And I could sit here and make an argument that in many cases it's worse. You climbed out of your level of poverty. Famously, you slept in cars, and famously, you've been molested. And for that reason, I guess you have a perpetual hatred of black men. Who fucked you in the ass so deep that you hate black men? And I think you hate yourself. I think your movies is a clear depiction of how much you hate yourself. And if you could, you probably would cross over to being a transsexual, because it feels to me like you're a woman trapped in a man's body and you hate your fucking self. And so you have to walk around and masquerade as a man, but in reality, you are a black woman in every sense of the word. And for that reason, I hate your art. For those who know me, I'm very opinionated, and I'm able to separate the man from the art. I respect you as a man, your hustle, your grit, your grind, your determination, and your story to bring yourself up from your bootstraps. But I damn sure have no love for your art. And I'll close by saying this. You are one of the few powerful people who are in a position to do something that most of us can't, and that's change the narrative. You greenlight your own movies. You write your own scripts. You do your own casting. This movie was made in 8 days, I'm told. You are a brilliant mind. Lots of stories inside of you. We get it. You have the power, Tyler Perry, to change the narrative and tell a different story and show a different, better depiction of black people. Since representation does matter, and we know it matters, most of us as African Americans, we're not going to get cast in lead roles for Marvel films. We're not going to get cast as a leading man in most movies, unless you're Denzel Washington, who's now in his 70s, and he's fading out and projected to stop making movies. There's only a handful of us that really are leading men. Michael B. Jordan, you might have, a couple of other men, but by and large, it's not us. And the fact that you have the green light, the power, the money to be able to depict black men especially, and just black people in a better light, why would you not do it? Why don't you tell a different story with your brilliant mind? I personally am sick of that narrative, and you can do better. Shame on you, to be perfectly honest with you, that all your movies depict black people in the worst fucking light. We get it. There are definitely rundown hood, gate, the worst fucking areas imaginable, not just here in Atlanta, in every state. We know it. But even if you look at the greatest city in the country, New York City, it's not the same New York City that it was in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Through gentrification, through just evolution, Harlem is a bustling, thriving community where Black people own businesses now, and they're thriving and doing their thing. And certainly here in the Mecca of Atlanta, Black people are doing well, and you don't show that side enough. Even when you do show affluent Black people in your movies where they are living in the big house in Buckhead or some of those areas, you still fuck up the character. They're fucked up people as far as their personality, their character. So do you have the capacity to show people who that's like the Huxtables? When the Huxtables came on the 80s, it revolutionized sitcoms. It was the first time African Americans were shown in a professional light. It was the first time that not only white people, but we got to see ourselves through the lens of a doctor and a lawyer raising a normal family, having normal problems, and it literally green-lighted the entire sitcom industry. There would be no success of Friends and Seinfeld and all the others had it not been for the Cosby Show. Had Bill Cosby, whether you like him or not, depicted African Americans in a positive light. And it certainly raised the bar for us as a people to recognize that we could become lawyers and doctors. And it spawned a different world where, oh my God, there are African Americans that go to an HBCU and become professionals. Not all of us are on drugs or fucking and sucking and out there just hanging out. There is a consensus of Black young people that go to school, that want to become engineers and teachers and doctors. Oh my God, what a novel idea. And that was back in the 80s. Here we are in 2025, 40 fucking years later, and you are still catering to the depiction of us that we're just the worst fucking people walking the planet. And so shame on you. They say when you know better, do better. I challenge you, Tyler Perry, to depict us in a much better light. The movie Straw, it's successful. It went number one. It did what it was supposed to do. You have a loyal fan base that follows you, and as long as you keep giving them the same bullshit, they're going to swallow it. There's a line in the movie Malcolm X, where he's telling Malcolm before he becomes Malcolm X, he pours the water and he says, if you give this to the people, after he pours the dark ink in it, he said they'll drink it because they won't know any better. Your core audience is drinking the same muddy water, fucked up narrative because they don't know any better. And as much as you're a philanthropist and helping pull up people by giving them jobs, now it's time to help pull them up by reimagining the image. Help pull us up to show that there is a different side, because social media already does enough to show us as the most fucked up, vile people that not even human, and Black Twitter does a good job at that. You have a medium that's visual and have the capacity to show Black people in a much better light. We know better, we can do better. Give us something better to drink. And you're one of those very few people who can. Lord knows Oprah Winfrey is not doing it. But we do have other directors. DuVernay, brilliant female director. We've got shows like Shy, females depicting Black people in a better light. Of course, Spike Lee has been doing it his entire career. And right on the scene is Ryan Coogler showing us in a better light. You're better than this, Tyler. You know better. You can do better. Straw was a piece of shit. Take your accolades and enjoy it, but you can do a hell of a better job. Anyway, this is just one man's opinion. God bless.